Hello my dear Libras, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between April 16 and April 30, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I have done my readings in the order of most viewed up till now, but next time I will do the readings in the order of most liked, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I put astrological information for the month of April in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se, where you can also find and buy all the decks I'm using in this video. There is a subscription service up on my webpage that you can take part of if you want to learn more about spiritual growth, yoga and tarot. So for this reading I used the Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma, and I will start shuffling your cards. I have used this deck in early 2000, not this particular deck because that was in Swedish, but I have always do reversal with it, so I will also do this time. Okay, so when I open your deck here, I see maturity and breakthrough. So breakthrough is 11 Justice card. It's talking about you, Libra, and maturity is Ace of Pentacles. So it's about taking step one, or being back to square one, or creating something, or getting a chance. And with the breakthrough here, it's something like old ways or old habits that's holding you back a little bit. You are not able to walk through this door of change. We are going in circles, like this shows. It's like we get some kind of chance and we take it, and then we go a circle with that, and we learn a lot of stuff. For example, we take a chance on a relationship, but our relationships might like start and end roughly the same. We have the same problems over and over and over again. And why we have this is because we can't do the breakthrough. We can't come through the door to the next level of existence. And why we can't do that might be a number of reasons. It might be that we are pig-headed and doesn't want to change, or that we don't get what it is that we need to change, or that we are afraid of our emotions, so we can't get the wisdom of the situation, and we are not even thinking about it because it might to be too difficult or too hurtful or whatever. But okay, so my dog is turning a little bit crazy. I don't know if you hear how he's growling, but he's playing. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we have celebration with this breakthrough. So it seems like there's something with social situations, relationships, love. This celebration card, it's the kind of love that's Holy Trinity. It's the kind of love that you have between a mother and its child, and women of different generation, or like your best friend, or like that one time, like your soulmate or something like that. It's like love that stretches beyond this world, and it seems like it's in this kind of area that you need to make some kind of breakthrough. Okay, so I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we have sharing. It's the Queen of Wands, and breakthrough, of course. So sharing might be like an Aries person, Sagittarius or Leo in your life, or it might also be mirroring like your feminine, very strong feminine side. Okay, the Queen of Wands, she's very warm and generous, not only to others but also to herself. So she's a very strong woman with very strong self-respect. It doesn't have to be a woman, but it's the woman on the picture, so I'm going to say woman, but it can easily be a man with their feminine side, being very strong and having a lot of experience. It's like a person have lived a lot of lifetime, and therefore becoming like more resilient. Take things more lightly, doesn't make big problems where there's not big problems. Also having a lot of solutions, a big toolbox with solutions, always being positive, always being creative. So it might be that you need to take more chances, have more fun, and start to become, like, take lighter on things, rest on your own capacity to do things. Don't be so scared, don't be so timid in your situations. That might be what's needed to make this breakthrough. It's kind of indicated with this Justice being in the reversed, in contradiction to the Fire Queen here. So you might, you need to become more passionate. It's like you need to start to risk things. You need to risk bleeding to have a little bit of fun. So you can't just sit on the park bench and look at the other children playing. You need to be part of the game. Okay. So I call the 6 elements, earth, tuning in, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Libra viewers. Here we have 3 of Pentacles as well. So the last 2 cards is like being a little bit of bystander, yes, but needs to become again a part of the divine crew. But the 4 of Cups is also it's a good card, but it's maybe not in this context, because it's showing you maybe letting life pass you by a little bit. Okay, let's see here. Playfulness, yes, that's what we need. We need playfulness. This is your soul's longing. This is the adventure. A person wants social experience and fun. It might be sexual fun, creative fun, travel the world fun, any kind of fun, anything that sparks your face to frown up in, not like frown up, but actually smile. Okay, you need to put a smile on your face. Oh, creativity. Okay, the feminine side. The feminine side is a side that's more. It's not so square. It's more. You had a lot of 3s, like you have the Empress number 3, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. The very feminine 3s. Like here, she wants to show herself again. The 3 of Pentacles. So you need to take part of life. You need to be like more curves than squares. You need to be more like receptive than trying to imply like a certain rule of control over things. It's like you have chosen to be on the outside a little bit. It's being on the outside a little bit, not taking all the chances. This is also the door, yes, the breakthrough door. It's the 5 of Pentacles is a card, 2 of Wands. It's a card of a person that can be like held, locked in an unlocked room because they're not checking the doors, just sitting and meditating and kind of withstanding whatever is happening. So it's very, Libra wants to be in balance, doesn't want to have unbalanced feelings, but sometimes it can make you miss all the fun. Yes, here we have the rebel. So we have the Queen of Wands. She's usually Aries. This is also Aries, but it's the major arcana Aries. So this is where her, what we saw with the Queen of Wands being this person that's warm and generous towards others equally as herself. This is when someone has crossed her boundaries. Okay, and then a person goes into their masculine sphere and starts to like point with their whole hand. So it's like you need to start to dare to make some fuss. Okay, you need to start to make some noise. Okay, noise and fuss for my dear Libras. So I don't know if I said the whole thing with I want my dear Libras to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So if I said it already, you had it twice. Nothingness card jumped for you. Death card and Fool card jumped for you. So it seems like there's big scenery things going on. Yes, it's schizophrenia card. That's Two of Swords is Libra, so it's about doesn't want to get into uncomfortable situations, so doesn't do anything at all, just hanging about, and nothing really happens. Life can't move on from this point. It's like you rather stay in a between a rock and a hard place than to change the scenery a little bit. And it also comes in the reversed, and the Death comes in the reversed, so it's like you're losing control here. It's very hard to hold on to something when you're hanging against gravity. Okay, so you will fall. And transformation, it's even if you fall, it's like you're resisting this transformation. And it might be some kind of silence going on. Two of Swords is sometimes we keep our mouth shut because we don't want the consequences. And here you also see Death is holding the hand on the mouth, signaling silence. Silence is a golden. So that might be a song for you. If I remember it, I will put it on the description box. It's 11 minutes, so if I forget, I can go back and check. Oh, so now I have almost shuffled myself to death here. Okay. So I will just tune in for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Libras, see what the future holds for you. There's your future. And this is your now, and this is the past. So the past is actually past lives. And the past is here, kind of Mars, first half of April. And you have past life cards in the reverse. So it seems like you are going deeper into some subconscious realm and revealing things there. You might start to reminisce about things or remember things of the past. It wants to come to you because it's knowledge being stored there, also together with trauma and pain, but it all comes in the same package. So you can't just sort what you want from this. You can't just go and take the knowledge without taking the pain, because the knowledge is stored in the pain. And it's birth. It's like ancestral karma as well. Your different past lives, how you have come to the earth through different stargates, different mothers, all the time, lived life, died, come back, lived life, died. So you have died 1,000 deaths, and it might feel that way for you right now, because you need to relive these 1,000 deaths to go through a certain kind of purge that will make you ready for the ascension process. So if you feel like dying now, it's just what the doctor ordered, because you need to relive all this life, pick home all your lost soul parts, take home all the experience that's stored here in your subconscious, and make the best of it, so you can heal yourself, heal also your part of Earth, the Earth's grid, and ascend together with the Earth. So the Earth is not going to be a karmic planet in the same way anymore. So all the knowledge that's stored here needs to be digested now. So it's therefore a lot of people is having like chaos in their lives and in their inside right now, going through a lot of challenges, because they're kind of living through 1,000 lives of challenges in just one lifetime. Here we have, and it's just the energy of it. So if we don't get so upset by it, we just digest it, release it, let it go, take the next thing, digest it, get the knowledge of it and let it go, maybe. Okay, and here we have possibilities, and it's 2 of Wands in reverse. You also had 2 of Swords in reverse, so fire and air energy in 2. It's like a break. Okay, someone putting the foot on the brake. It's a red light. You don't want this to happen. So I'm thinking you are in a lot of resistance. You don't want to feel like this, because Libra wants to be calm, wants to be cool, wants to be collected. You are the most watery of the air signs. You have the most empathy, and it's a little bit like you're torn between being one part of the cool gang with only thinkers that's disconnected from their hearts, and being a master of the heart and being like in tune with their wisdom. So therefore you are almost sitting on the fence, and what you need to do, Libra, is connect head and heart, and then you are going to be like a really superpower to count with. But here with the Two of Wands in reversed, you're not really living fully. You're not checking your possibilities. You're not, because you are in refusal of something. It's something you are putting the brakes on. It's something that you don't want to experience, you don't want to know, you don't want to see, you don't want to hear, you don't want to feel. So the brake is on, and it's a little bit of red light here. Okay. But it's just temporary resistance. You can't resist this forever, because the divine is much stronger than you. Okay, and here we have schizophrenia, of course, also Two of Swords, and I have already told you about this. So it seems like you are keep on putting the foot on the brake, and it's not going to help you. It's just going to slow you down. You're going to be the last one through the gate instead of being the first one, which might have been your birthright. But since you are more preoccupied with feeling balanced and not being upset, you are becoming delayed. Okay. Here we have the past, and here we have the master, and I said it to you. You were supposed to be the first one, but you are delaying this. Okay, so because you have lived many lifetimes, and as the Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords also have a lot of experience, but she's usually silent with it because she have kind of learned that other people are a little bit crazy, and it's no meaning with mentioning what's really going on, because people will not listen anyway. So she has given away her strength a little bit. It's like the Oracle of Delphi, just talking when they are spoken to, but not really having any authority or will of their own. However, you have collected a lot of experience in your different lifetimes, and you have been an ascended masters in many of your lifetimes, but you have kind of forgotten about it, or you might have become like having a little bit of a spiritual ego because of it. So you feel like you're done. You have already done everything that all the other people are striving with, but actually they have catched up with you and also raised from you, because you are trying to keep the status quo. You don't want to fall, like an ascendant master doesn't want to fall. We can see this sometimes with professional healers and other things, that it's like not allowed to speak about your own problems, because then you are not flawless. Okay, and I'm thinking Libra wants to be a little bit flawless, and you don't admit to your pains and your problems because you want the surface to be all good. But when you do that, you are kind of putting yourself in the back of the line, and not being, you could have been like a really good example for others during this passage instead, if you would have, if you will be able to admit to how it really feels inside. Okay. So the master is about being like in tune with your higher self and not living by any rules, but just living with being very aligned with yourself. And because you are this, you become very attractive to others, and people want to learn from you. Sometimes that might make a person flash back and start to get a big of an ego instead, and identifying with being a master. And then you need to like, okay, how is a master? They seem very cool. They don't have any problems. So I need to be like this. And then you start to build a persona, and then you are suddenly not aligned with yourself. But here in the past, we have you. You had this knowledge. You knew everything. And then we have the inner voice. It's number 2. It's the High Priestess. It's very connected to your card, 11 Justice. 1 + 1 is 2. And here the inner voice is in the reversed, because, as I said, you have started to identify with being the master. So then you forget about your own feelings and you just try to be a little bit cool, because the inner voice is very much connected to the emotions. That is, as I said, you are the watery air sign. So you have this superpower available to you, but currently it seems to be out of style for some reason for you, and you don't want to be connected with it, maybe because it hurts. It's frequencies and vibration. If we hold the antenna, we are going to feel the vibration as well, but it's just frequencies and vibration. It's nothing that's destroying your cool or anything. It's just making you being a much more in tuned creature, being able to know things that like secrets. It can be secrets as well with the High Priestess in the reversed. So you're not listening to your inner voice, or you're not sharing your inner voice with others. Kind of what I said with the Queen of Swords, that's your card as well. That she's an oracle, but she just speaks when she is spoken to, because she feels like it's not worth the effort. No one will understand me anyway. Okay. So next card here is We Are the World. So this is what you need to see, that no one is above or below the other. It's just that we go to different experience that give us different wisdom, and you might have gone this road to give you some wisdom, and other people might have gone this road to get some wisdom, and now you're supposed to share this wisdom with one another. But if one is pretending like, well, I don't have the problems that you do, you can't really connect with people like this. You need to be like one of them. You can't feel like they are separate from you. They need to be a part of you. So we are the world. It's the 10 of Pentacles, a place of value, what's really worth something. Family, devotion, friends, long-lasting loyalty, values, commitments, these kind of things. And you can see it's kind of the same energy with these cards coming as a blue and a circle. Okay, and here we have the Lovers in the reverse. So again, it's like it's loyal friends, brotherhood, sisterhood is great, but relationship, nah. It's again like you're not sharing your wisdom, or you don't want to step down into tainted situations, because when we are in love relationships, we might not be able to be as level-headed as we are in friendships. So it's I'm seeing this. It's a red light for my inner vision again, and it's kind of mirrored there. So, okay, love. So you can be very loving and participate with people on a very beautiful level, as long as it's not passionate love. So again, with passion in you, you need to start to yield to passion. Passion needs to be a part of your experience too. As I said, you might have gone this way, the very cool way, being a lot of monks and nuns and hermits and other things. And now another part of humanity took another road with romantic love or like buckling heads with other people. And now you need to meet here again. You did like these different adventures, and you need to meet here again, and you are like, oh no, I don't want to. It's too messy. And here we have traveling. So traveling is 8 of Wands. So it's like Uranus energy hitting you, or sun ray energy, or soul energy is hitting you. So your soul wants this. Either you are resisting it or not. Gemini is the only thing I see. Gemini and Sagittarius we have here. This might be Pisces, and this might be Virgo. Okay. But in other case, I don't see any people just now. And this 18, it's Cancer. It's the moon card. Okay. So both these are moons, and we see also the moon above his head. So we have had double full moons. Yesterday we had the full moon in Libra, and it was a full blue moon. Second full blue moon for this 2018. We had the first in January, then in February there were no full moon, and then 2 full moons again in March. The last one 31st of March, yesterday, yes, and it was in Libra, so in your sign. And it seems like it has affected you, like it has reconnected you with some kind of memory also of this split. You can see I said this, that we had made this different experience and then back to square one. together again. But this is like humanity's broken heart, and it's catching up with you. So this is something you will have to deal with sooner rather than later. Okay. Yes, okay, so this is the now. It's the second part of April, and we have moment to moment, so it's of course another 2. You don't want to be surprised, so you're putting one foot in front of the other, so a little bit carefully. Don't want to rush things. Yes, don't want to fall. No mistakes are allowed. Here it's about learning to crawl before you can run, and this might be like your life motto, that you don't want to do things that you're not an expert on. So you're keeping yourself a little bit in the background, just studying a lot of things before you jump into any conclusion or cross any bridges. So it's a certain like air around you with being very like percepting, watching, just waiting for the right moment. But the right moment might never come if you are too slow with this. Okay. Next card here is ordinariness. Ordinariness is the 8 of coins. So it's like this with the past life thingy, but in a more ordinary form. It's like doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again until you're not afraid of it anymore, or you become an expert, or you're very talented in this area. So for example, if you're very scared of spiders, you might start to look at spiders in nature, eventually be able to hold a spider, maybe pet a spider, and eventually it won't be a problem for you anymore. So with the 8 ordinariness, it's making things that was once scary ordinary. It's doing the same thing over and over again until you have mastered it. So it seems like you are you're being like a good student here and trying to make things like step by step. You have a beautiful willingness with you to do the right thing, but it's like learning in the background this fear of doing mistakes or not being perfect, or not being able to measure up to whatever kind of standard you have that's above everything else. So be careful for this perfectionism. It's good to repeat things and do things in a meditative state and be cool about it, but if this is the only way you can do things, it's not a good thing, because it's showing that you lack bravery. With the 8, it's connected to the strength card, that passion, bravery, the things that you have the 8 also here. So I think we need to spike things up a little bit with you, Libra. Yes, conditioning. So here we have, it's kind of the devil, and it's in reversed. So I'm thinking you are hiding just like this lion in a flock of sheep. You're trying to melt in. You're trying to not make any fuss about yourself. You don't want any attention. You don't want eyes on you. So you don't want to be, it's like you are the watcher. You don't want to be watched. You want to see things. You want to like make 2 and 2 together. You don't want other people to do the same with you. So it's like you're hiding a little bit. You're hiding your true self. It might become like almost a little bit manipulative, like a person hiding their shadow. And so it's almost like showing only your good qualities and not the things you feel are bad, but they are not bad. 15 also, 15 1 + 6 is connected with the lovers here. So it's like you're lacking a little bit of authenticity in your relationships. You only want people to see when you're performing well, doing well, being well composed, or being like non-dramatic, collected, calm, cool, and you don't want anyone to see when you're stumbling and falling, or you know, hair being a mess and eyes being full of tears. Then you kind of hide up a little bit. Okay, so there's more to you than this. It's a lot of things being hidden here, and a lot of things that wants to come out from the basement. like there's a lot more to you than what the eye can see, and you are hiding this away from people unnecessarily. Next card is laziness, and it comes in reversed. The way things are going, you're not really happy with the development. And why you're not really happy, it's because you expected greater rewards from you acting so perfectly. But unfortunately, no one is going to give you rewards for a facade well kept, okay? You are going to get rewards for being authentically you, not for keeping a polished facade. This is like a house of cards. This person can't be happy if not everything on the outside is perfect. And he's sitting on a house of cards or a house of glass that will fall down eventually. We want more authenticity from you, Libra. You need to be able to gamble a little bit more with your appearance, with your face, with your resources, with your like vulnerability, with your creativity, with your dreams. You need to start to dream a little bit bigger. You can't it's like you don't want people to see you becoming upset or being like disappointed. You only want to show up a side to you that's successful, and it has to do with ego, of course. That, but again, it might go back to some time when you had a lot of responsibility and you had a lot of people looking up to you. So you needed to be very flawless, but this is not what you need right now. Right now you need to be perfectly flawed and find yourself the true you, so you can take all of you through this ascension process. If you fake it, you will not make it this time. You need to be your authentic self, not this polishing the facade and looking good. It's not going to help. And here we have the turning in. I'm a little bit disappointed with seeing this card, even if it's a very good card. It's like you're digesting things, but it seems like you have been digesting things for eons. When are you done with this? When can you start to live a little, okay? Spike things up here, the traveling energy, adventures energy, and you're just, maybe I'm going to think about it. Maybe next year. Okay, this can happen. Like you have a lot of vision of what can happen and you want to keep a little bit your cool. But no, this is my interpretation. I'm trying to go to the classical interpretation of the card where you are kind of digesting what you have been through, but you are not. You're just trying to not digest it. It's like you don't want to touch the ground where you're walking. Well, you might have been freaking Jesus, but now you need to walk with your feet in the mud. It doesn't matter. He was also hanging on the cross and all these things. So he did it. So you can do it too. So stop with the with the procrastination, with the delayments, and show your beautiful self for the masses. Okay. Okay, that was in the now, and here we have the future. So there's no celebration because you are not getting your hands off the pocket and you're not getting the foot off the brake pedal. So there's no celebration, there's no connection. People can't connect with you if you are trying to show yourself all perfect. How we connect with people is showing vulnerability, making a joke on ourselves, our own behalf, or showing our weaknesses. This is how we make real friends, not by showing us much better than them and totally polished and they have problems in their lives but you don't. So that is not going to make any connection. And here we have the Beyond Illusions. It came in this position also for, was it Pisces, I think? Beyond Illusions is number 2. So it comes very beautifully positioned together with the 2 here. It's 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. So it's connected also to Justice card, number 11. So all these cards are talking about, this is like seeing things from a higher perspective. This is being connected to your wisdom, the Akashic Chronicles, your all total experience. 11 is walking to the gateway, like the digestion, getting it and moving on, getting it, moving on, getting it, moving on. But now it's like you want to say, like, I'm already finished. I don't have anywhere to go. I'm perfect. It's just because you don't want to feel bad. You don't want to feel overwhelmed, like there's a lot of things left to do. It's like you are a little bit sensitive, a little bit maybe you might feel like you're oversensitive and you're trying to downplay this or downsize it. But it's also doing you a non-favor, because both these cards came in reverse, showing that you have no connection with your true wisdom. Because your true wisdom comes from acknowledging the situation exactly as it is. Whatever is fine. You just need to admit to it. Admit to how you're feeling, what you want, what your dreams are, what you currently don't have. Just admit to it. It doesn't have, and break down a little bit maybe would be good too. Okay, we move on. Here we have the experience card, and it's in the reverse because you can't get an experience out of this situation if you are not playing with open cards, if you're not showing your true self. So again, 3-3, it's the Holy Trinity. Like when we make something with someone else, you can't make anything with anyone else if you are not showing authenticity, if you're not showing your true self. Beautifully flawed, okay, perfectly flawed. It's totally, no one can be perfect. It's not to be aimed for. To be a robot is not like a good quality. So experiences in reverse, you don't want an experiences. Maybe you want to stay in your comfort zone, not go outside. It might become to this also if you're very touchy-feely, sensitive, empathic, taking up too much from the surrounding, reading every people's mind, feeling their feelings. You might stay indoors, so there's no experience at all. There's no exchange because you're too fragile, you think, but it's not. It's just that you have a lot of beautiful ways to communicate with the like the world around you. Different creatures have different superpower. Chameleons, for example, they can take the shape and color of people around them, or surroundings around them, become green if they're walking in green, becoming like purple if they're walking around like purple vegetables. And I don't know the name, so therefore I couldn't, maybe it's squash, I don't remember. Okay, so, and you have these kind of superpowers. You're very sensitive to the surrounding, and you can pick up everything, but you're not supposed to live like indoors, away from all this, that's kind of teasing all your sensory systems. So you might become very high strong and build higher and higher walls and thicker doors, so no one will be able to come in and you know, give you some frequency vibration and make you feel alive. So you need to start to be more tolerant towards high frequency energy, also low frequency energy, any kind of energy. Start to feel your inside. Stay with whatever is on your inside. 5 seconds, 5 minutes a day can increase it, and making it to like meditation. You can also feel your inside when you're driving your car, or when you're standing in line, or going to the store, or talking with someone. You can feel your inside. So when you are able to tolerate your own energy and to feel it without having a buffered zone. For example, if we get a headache, sometimes we can think ourselves out of having the headache. The body still have the headache, the problem is still there, but you can think yourself out of having a headache because you're sheltering yourself away from the biofeedback. And this is a little bit what you are doing, and therefore you're not getting the full experience of being you. If you would be a beautiful, it's like you're a jellyfish manat, like with a lot of antennas. And so you could be, it's like you are this creature, you're the earth and all, like the antennas. You would be like a real asset, but now it's like an antenna that's being put in a lead box because it doesn't want to be used. It doesn't want to feel the vibration. It's too difficult, it says. Okay. Next card is awareness, and it's kind of the Chariot card. It's number 7. You have 6 here, 7, major arcana. And it's like you're starting to wake up. And this is when you are starting to feel your authentic self. You're starting to admit to whatever you feel and whatever you are. Then you're starting also to wake up, okay? Wake up, we need to make money. That's some song I heard in my head. Okay, and it's like your soul is speaking to you. The master is coming back after a round of being just like a mask on your face, not an authentic master, but here it's coming. It's like a little bit, it's like a Buddha child here. You can see it. So you're starting to penetrate through the veil that has kept you protected, but also isolated from your true mission or from your true life purpose. 7s usually comes with challenges, so it seems to come some kind of challenge in the love department. Maybe just admitting to not being content, like feeling contentment. Just admitting to something. That will create awareness. Just feeling. Yes, okay. And here we have the fighting. Okay, so then the Chariot goes a little bit south. It's like instead of yielding yourself to go outside in the world, you are enhancing yourself, making yourself like these kind of animals that spikes up their fur or their feathers, or spikes. For some animals have these spikes also. So when you finally go out, you act like you are bigger than you actually are, more dangerous than you actually are. So you won't have to feel like your authentic self because you don't like it. So that's a compromise. I agree. Yes, it will make you being able to go out, but still not authentic, still not being fully you. You are you, but covered in spikes to keep everyone out. So even if you're coming out of your comfort zone, you're still not being you. And why is that? Because you can't tolerate the high frequency energy inside of you, your own feelings. So start to get used to them. You're going to need them. So don't procrastinate. Don't hold on to trying to feel good. Feel bad. Try to find the most awful feeling inside of you and chase it, because it will probably hide from you since you have been shunting it away like this. So it will be a little bit shy and think that you don't love it. So you will have to chase it through your body. Like first it's in your heart, then it's in your stomach, and then it's in your hip and your ear. I'm just kidding. But it might go around like this and you will have to catch it. So when you feel really bad about something, that's actually a really good opportunity to find a doorway, your doorway, the 11 Justice, into the next level. Not like this, but by being more tolerant to what's inside, not building you up so you will tolerate what's on the outside. You can tolerate whatever is on the outside if you can feel okay with how you're feeling on the inside. Nothing in the outside will bother you if you are okay with how you feel on the inside. And I see that you're feeling good on the inside because you're not even looking. So, okay. I will read the central card for you, conditioning 15. So, this card recalls an old Zen story about a lion who was brought up by sheep, and who thought he was a sheep until an old lion captured him and took him to a pond where he showed him his own reflection. Many of us are like this lion. The image we have of ourselves comes not from our own direct experience, but from the opinions of others. A personality imposed from the outside replaces the individuality that could have grown from within. We become just another sheep in the flock, unable to move freely and unconscious of our own true identity. It's time for you to take a look at your own reflection in the pond and make a move to break out of whatever you have been conditioned by others to believe about yourself. Dance, run, jog, do gibberish, whatever is needed to wake up the sleeping lion within. Unless you drop your personality, you will not be able to find your individuality. Individuality is given by existence. Personality is imposed by society. Personality is social convenience. Society cannot tolerate individuality because individuality will not follow like a sheep. Individuality has the quality of the lion. The lion moves alone. The sheep are always in the crowd, hoping that being the crowd will feel cozy, but you can't even tolerate the crowd. So being in the crowd only feels more protected, secure. If somebody attacks, there's every possibility in a crowd to save yourself. But alone, only a lion moves alone. And every one of you is born a lion, but society goes on conditioning you, programming your mind as a sheep. It gives your personality a cozy personality, nice, very convenient, very obedient. Society wants slaves, not people who are absolutely dedicated to freedom. Society wants slaves because all the vested interest want obedience. I hear this song. It's by John Lennon. Something with a hero. Working class hero. Okay, so maybe I will probably forget one of these songs, but you can remind me, so I'll put it in the description box if I do. So from Wild Kuan Yin, for you, my dear Libra. So grandmother reassures safe crossing. So you're helped. Beautiful. Okay. And there's some different red lights there also. A collection of them. And cool buttons that's blue also. 16. Maybe you're looking too much to others, like see how they are doing instead of doing your own thing, or you are doing so opposite to what other wants to do, to not admit to yourself that you are so you're so caught up with what other people are thinking of you. You have a journey ahead of you. This journey will lead you across the water, far away from what you have known. To bear the crossing of the water, you must lose sight of the shore. It is part of your destiny, your sacred life path to take this journey. So although you may feel excitement or fear, hope or uncertainty about whether you are up to the task, know that it's meant for you. This journey is divinely blessed and will bring you great success. The cross the water implies more than simply taking a trip. It refers to a more life-changing experience of committing to and taking a journey. A journey is not only an external experience, it's an internal adventure too. Whilst the trip is interesting, perhaps, and give us some nice experiences, fundamentally it leaves us the same person upon the return. A journey, however, changes us on the inside. It's awaken us into more of who we are. The Oracle of Grandmother ensures safe crossing indicates that not only are you on the journey, but you must keep looking. You have somewhere to go, a home to find, but you have not quite found it yet. There is something more for you to discover about yourself and your place in the world. There is a part of you that understands this. Do not imagine that where you currently find yourself is to be your resting place. There is more for you in your life. Further adventures awaits you. There are no guarantees given as to how your journey will unfold, just that you have had all the preparation you need, even if you doubt your readiness, and that ancient wisdom of the Divine Mother in the form of Grandmother will protect you. When the time is upon you, when you feel the stirring of divine discontent and the call of the wild to grow and expand, you are best to answer with a huge, heartfelt yes. So a little bit what we're seeing here with the chariot and fighting there is the Knight of Swords. And maybe you need to be this protected to be at least being able to go on this journey. So maybe it's fine, but I'm sorry for mocking you for this, but it was a very funny picture that when you finally got out of your secure environment where you don't have any input, you need to burst yourself up with those feathers or thorns or whatever. But it might be so because to make you brave enough to do this journey that you're called for. And it's, as they said, an external journey, but also an internal. So eventually, if you are so scared of what's on the outside, eventually you won't be anymore, because you have been there so much and done so many journeys that you will be cool with it, whatever happens. But the key is to be cool with whatever happens inside. Okay, so my dear Libras, I hope this helped. I want you to take really, really good care. And I welcome you back to my beginning of May reading that I will perform in the middle of April. Okay, bye-bye.